and we will get started. Just make sure you can see. There we go. Lovely. So, yeah, get your space ready. All you need is your body and your breath. You might want to light a candle, burn some incense to make the time even more special. I'd like you to begin and begin by crossing your ankles, if that's comfortable. If not, kneeling's fine. And just taking a seat, placing your hands comfortably onto your knees and closing your eyes down. And beginning to tune in to your breath, noticing your breath as you breathe in deeply, filling up your abdomen, your chest, your ribcage expanding, growing tall. And if you can, take a little pause at the top of the breath and notice the stillness. And then take a long, slow, grounding exhale. And just notice how you feel. Notice what's happening in your body, with your mind, with your thoughts, and inviting any intentions in. And if that sounds confusing, it means kind of you're creating this space for you, for your body, inviting any intentions. I'm here today to focus on me for some self-care. I'm here today to focus on my body, on my breath. I'm here to be present in this moment without looking at screens or texting, or just to make the most of the moment. And growing a little bit taller with your next in-breath, as if you have a golden thread attached to the crown of your head, drawing you up to the stars. When you're ready, just allow your eyes to gently open and let the light in. And collectively, we'll start this class together to move and breathe together. Swoop your arms up to the sky as you inhale, reaching all the way up. Bring your palms together and exhale softly, drawing your thumbs past your forehead, past your lips, and down to your heart center. Beautiful. Now we're going to interlace the fingers and push the palms towards each other. And draw those palms now up to the sky, feeling a stretch into the wrists, shoulders drawing back. And now bring your right hand down to the earth. Begin to bring your right wrist and elbow, if you can, down to the earth, creating a stretch into your left oblique and the left side body, feeding into your lower back. Let's row the left elbow back, so bending the elbow and moving back as if moving through honey, and then reach all the way up and over, finding that stretch. And then circle your left arm all the way up and over, placing the left hand down to the earth, perhaps the left wrist, but keep your right sit bone rooted, right arm reaching, and then draw back again as if you're moving through honey. There's no rush, nowhere to be, nothing to do but to be here, breathe and move together. Swoop your right arm all the way up and over. Good. And then draw both arms up to the sky again. Take a big full breath in. This time, moving into a twist, send your hands to the right side, right hand placing behind you, left hand onto the outer edge of your right knee. Breathe in, sit up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, begin to twist through your thoracic spine, upper spine, and rotating your head over the right shoulder, noticing if there's any tension held in your neck. When you're ready, swoop your arms all the way back up. Take a big cleansing breath in and exhale. Send your hands to the left side, right hand onto the edge of your knee, left knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and exhale, a little twist, looking over the left shoulder. Big deep breath. And exhale. Good. Now inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, send the hands down by your sides. Bring your hands now in front of you and come onto your hands and your knees, making our way up slowly from the ground up. So into a 4-point base. Begin to circle your hips and applying just a gentle pressure onto the hands, onto the wrists. Still warming the hips up, warming the wrists up, introducing your body to movements. And then perhaps changing direction, making them spirals maybe. And we're going to start to introduce Ujjayi breath into our movements. And that is when you're constricting the back of the throat, a little bit like a valve, using those muscles that you would use in the back of your throat when you're about to whisper in somebody's ear. And because your sound isn't on, you can experiment with this breath as much as you like without worrying about anybody hearing you. Not that that matters. Turn the fingertips out to the side and just rock gently from side to side. And only if it feels okay for your wrists, turn your fingers around to face your knees. So an external rotation of the arms and the hands, and then just gently rock back, sit bones drawing down towards the heels, the palms of your hands beginning to lift off. And we might not go quite as dynamic as we sometimes do today. I'd like to introduce you into this movement mindfully, so really taking care of your body. Turning the hands around to back to the center, so fingertips facing forward. As you drop your tummy and take your tailbone out, take an Ujjayi breath in through the nose, remember constricting the back of the throat. And exhale to cat pose, drawing your tummy upwards and your tailbone drawing in. And continuing through cat and cow, or spinal breathing, dropping tummy, tailbone drawing out, and then exhaling into cat. And if you sound a little bit like Darth Vader or like an ocean, then you know that Ujjayi breath is happening. I like to think of it as a hushing noise for the body. And when we begin to extend our exhale, we're calming our nervous system, tapping into our parasympathetic system. I think we all need that from time to time. Let's take one more inhale and one more exhale. And then bring your big toes together, open your knees a little wider, slide your hands forward into a nourishing child's pose, head grounding to the earth. And begin to walk your upper body over to the right hand side, taking your chest over the right leg and stretch out through your back, perhaps placing your left hand on top of your right hand and drawing your right shoulder down towards the earth, left shoulder up. So we once more kind of tilts the thoracic spine. When you're ready, walk your hands, your upper body over to the left hand side. Place your right palm over your left, and again, tilt your right shoulder up towards the sky if that feels okay. Remember, I'm just here to guide you. I can't hear what your body is telling you. So if you need to modify or freestyle at any point. Walk your hands back to the top of your mat. Shoulder width apart, we're going to bring the wrists and elbows down to the earth. Look forward through the hands and glide your chest through those wrists. Elbows lifting, open the feet so they're parallel to the knees. Rise up, elbows tucking into the ribs. Press the ground away and rolling back through cat pose, all the way down to child's pose. And again, looking forward, inhaling as you're coming through. Chest low, hips high, elbows lifting, rising up to cobra. Exhale, press the ground away, rolling back to child's pose. Good, and one more time, rolling through, chest low, hips high, guiding yourself through, beautiful. Good, and then pressing the ground away, rolling yourself all the way back to child's pose. Okay, moving into Tibetan sun salutation. Swoop your hands up to your knees, lift your sit bones away from the heels, rising the arms up to the sky. A big cleansing breath. Draw your palms together, take your hands down to your hearts. Glide your hands shoulder width apart and begin to bring your chin and chest down towards the earth. Feeling a stretch into the chest, into the shoulders. Nice big deep breath. And then guide your hands slowly underneath the hands, underneath the shoulders even, tucking your tailbone under your tummy, drawing up. Lift your knees off the ground, coming into tiger pose, shoulders stacking, and then flip over one foot and then the other to your downward facing dog. Step your left foot towards your right. We're going to swoop the right leg up to the sky, flexing the toes. Draw your right knee in towards your chest to a tiger curl. Inhale, swoop your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, take your right knee to the right upper arm, shoulders stacking. And same thing, swoop the leg up to the sky and take it laterally over to your left upper arm and hold. Swoop your right leg all the way back up to the sky, and we're going to step the right foot to the inner edge of the right thumb. Draw your left knee down to the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Bring your palms together and exhale, draw your hands down to your hearts. Beautiful. Take both hands either side of your front foot and just for a moment reach up with the right arm, bringing your chest over to the right side. Look to the right thumb. Perfect. Send that right hand down to the earth. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee. Lift the back foot, making an L shape with the legs. Draw your chin and chest in towards your shin for a moment. And then step your left foot to meet the right. We're in Uttanasana, forward fold, softening the knees, rolling the body up vertebrae by vertebrae. Taking a big Ujjayi breath, fill the lungs, swoop your arms up to the sky. Take your left wrist with your right hand, banana your body to the right side. Soften your right knee, perhaps swoop the left foot behind. Good, reaching all the way up. Take a hold of your right wrist, step the left foot back. Banana your body to the left side, soften your left knee and swoop your right foot behind. Or you keep the feet where they are. Good, inhale, swoop the arms back up to the sky, big deep breath. Exhale, swan dive down with a flat back, swooping down. Inhale, lift your hearts. Exhale, forward fold, hands drawing down to the edges of the feet, bending your knees if you need. And then let's step back with your right foot, nice big deep step back. Keep your right knee lifted and send your left arm up to the sky. Big deep breath, look up to the left thumb. Exhale, send your left hand down. Step back into a plank and draw your knees, tops of your feet, your chin and chest down to the earth. Inhale, gliding through to cobra. Exhale, we're going to roll back into a 4-point base, cross the ankles and take 2 tricep dips. So lower your chest down towards the earth, elbows staying tucked into the ribs and then press all the way up. Good, making sure your elbows are drawing behind you rather than out to the side because that's cheating. Tuck your toes under, uncrossing the ankles, roll yourself back to downward facing dog. And lift both heels off the ground, take them over to your right side. Maybe lift the toes. And bring both heels off the ground, make sure your head is nice and loose. Send your heels over to the left side, toes lifting. And inhale, lifting the heels off the ground. Exhale, lower those heels down towards the earth, pressing the ground away. Send your right foot towards your left. Take your left leg up to the sky. Big deep breath. Sending your left knee in towards the chest, tiger curl. Inhale, take your left leg back up to the sky. Can you make space in between all 5 toes of that left foot? Exhale, send your left knee to the left upper arm. See if you can touch. Swoop your left leg back up to the sky, and this time take your left knee to the right upper arm. Good, swoop that left leg all the way back up, big inhale, and then exhale. We're going to step the left foot to the inner edge of the left thumb. Drawing your right knee down to the earth, bear down with the hips as you reach up with the arms, inhaling up to Anjaneyasana pose. Bringing palms together, exhaling, drawing your hands down to your heart. Place both hands either side of your front foot, and lifting the left arm up to the sky, little twist, reach up. Exhale, send your left hand softly, slowly down to the earth. Tuck your back toes under, lift your right leg off the ground, and then if it's possible, draw your chest and chin in towards the left leg. And then step your right foot to meet the left, and you should be able to get 2 balled fists in between those feet. Soften your knees and roll yourself up. Slowly so you don't get a head rush. Fill your lungs and swoop your arms up to the sky. Good, bringing your palms together. And then exhale, guiding both arms either side of the body with a flat back coming downwards. Inhale, you can either bring the hands to the shins or the fingertips to the floor, depending on your hamstrings. Exhale, bringing tummy and chest in towards the legs, if that's possible for your hamstrings. Bend the knees, if not, don't worry. Hands down onto the ground. Take a big step back with your left foot. Draw your left hand onto the ground opposite your right foot, and the right arm's going to reach up. A big deep breath. Good. You might feel something into the right hip flexor here as you reach up, looking to the right thumb. Exhale, draw your right hand down to the earth. Step back into a plank. Draw your knees, tops of your feet, chin and chest down to the earth. Inhale, gliding through to cobra. In cobra, we're drawing the pubic bone down to the earth. We're drawing the shoulders back. If the back feels like it's pinching, we're bending the elbows. And then we're going to roll back into a 4-point base, cross the ankles, and take 4 tricep dips. Building strong arms. Press down through all of your hands and underneath the fingers so that you're activating your wrists and forearms. And that essentially is protecting them too. Okay, uncrossing when you've done your 4, tuck your toes under and roll back to downward facing dog. Stepping your left foot towards your right, draw your right leg up to the sky. We're going to stack the right hip over the left. Take a little look over your left shoulder. Can you see that foot? And then take your gaze to the right thumb and bring your right foot to the outer edge of that right hand. Step your left foot to the outer edge of the left hand and draw your hands to your heart, opening the knees in Malasana, maybe just taking a little rock into it too. Draw the shoulders back, inhale, and then exhale. Send your fingertips down to the ground or palms and roll the hips up to the sky, lengthening your legs. Walking your hands or swooshing your hands over to the right side, perhaps take a little hug of the right leg. And then walking or swooshing your hands over to your left side, perhaps taking a little hug of the left leg. And now walking your hands back to the center of the feet, heel toe those feet once more to hip width apart. Soften your knees and roll up. Inhale, swooping your arms up to the sky, a big full cleansing breath. Exhale, gliding your arms either side of your body, swan dive down. If you can, take your 2 peace fingers into your big toes. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen your back. Exhale, bend your elbows, bringing your tummy and chest down into the legs, head dropping. Good, breathing for 3. For 2. And for 1. Good. Bringing both hands down to the earth. Step back with your right foot. This time stay on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, swoop your arms up to crescent lunge. Exhale, open the arms into a cactus shape, feeling your heart center open like a flower bud. Inhale, draw the arms all the way back up to the sky. Exhale, send your right arm forward and your left arm behind, looking to your left thumb. Extend through the fingers. And then inhale, draw both arms up to the sky. Draw your palms together, hands down to the heart. Send your right elbow to the outer edge of the left knee. Option to place the back knee down to the earth if you like. Press that left palm onto the right, looking over your left shoulder. Good. Now we're going to take the gaze down to the left big toe and step the right foot to meet the left. So we arrive in twisted chair. One more big deep breath here, looking over the left shoulder. Check your knees are together and your hips are square. Good. Inhale, reach up to Utkatasana. Exhale, palms together, hands down either side of the feet. Inhale, lift your heart. We're going to take a little float back, but feel free to take 2 steps if you need. Palms onto the ground, underneath the shoulders. Take the weight into the hands and then float as lightly as you can into plank. Good. Now, if you are building strength, bring a knee down to the earth. Otherwise, draw your shoulders forwards and take your whole body down at the same time, just to a float. So we should be a couple of centimeters off the ground. Push forward with the toes. I say we should be. That's if it's right for you. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, rolling back to downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Stack your left hip over the right. Look over your right shoulder to see the toe. Send your gaze now to the left big thumb and step your left foot to the outer edge of that hand. The right foot's going to arrive too. Hands to the heart and either stay here or coming into Bakasana, hands onto the earth, knees to the upper arms and feet beginning to lift off the ground. Engaging the core, lifting through the upper arms, perhaps the big toes touching. And then slowly bringing those toes down to the ground. Taking your hips up to the sky, lengthening your legs. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart, soften the knees and roll up. Inhale, a big cleansing breath. Palms perhaps drawing together. Exhale, forward fold. Option to take hold of the toes or place the hands under your feet. Inhale, lift your heart. Push the backs of those knees behind you. Exhale, folding tummy and chest into the legs and fold. Now when you are upside down, you're allowing blood to flow freely to your brain. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Relax the back of your neck. One more breath here. And then releasing your hands or toes, hands down to the earth. Step back with your left foot, staying on the ball of the left foot. Swoop your arms up to the sky. Big deep breath. Send your left arm forward and your right arm behind. Option to place that back knee down to the earth. If you feel wobbly, open up the arms, making a parallel line. Try and stack your shoulders over your hips. I can see a couple of you are leaning forward a little bit. If possible, bring those shoulders back. Look to the right thumb. Big deep breath. Good. Now bring both arms up to the sky. Take your hands to namaste, down to the heart, coming into this twist. Left elbow to the outer edge of your right knee. Press your right palm onto the left, looking over your right shoulder. And here we go. We're going to make this little transition. So focus. Place your eyes onto your downwards, can help, towards your right big toe. And then step your left foot to meet the right, arriving in twisted chair. Well done, big deep breath. And then exhale up to Utkatasana, both arms drawing up, knees staying bent. This time swoop your arms behind you. Lift your heels as if you're a bird about to take off in flight. Lengthen your back. Slowly draw your heels down to the earth, reaching the arms up. Lengthen up. And then forward fold. Have you got the Ujjayi breath still going on? Inhale, lift the heart. Breathing, moving in the moment. Exhale, fold. Hands down to the earth. Float or step back to plank and chaturanga. Dandasana. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, rolling back to your down dog, making sure your fingers are spread wide. If you need to, your knees are bent. If your hamstrings are fine, you're pushing the heels down to the earth, lengthening the back. Take your left hand to your right ankle. If you need to, step the feet a little bit forward. If you need to, take the hand a little higher up the leg. Look underneath the shoulder, big twist. Breathe, we're detoxifying the body as we twist. And then release, send your left hand down to the earth, right hand onto the edge of your left ankle, looking underneath the left shoulder, nice big deep breath. Exhale, one more. Good, release the left ankles. If you step those feet forward, step them slightly back, lift both heels off the earth. A rolling wave, look towards your belly, roll the shoulders forward, lowering your hips downwards. Inhale, press the ground away. And exhale, rolling back to downward facing dog. Let's do that once more. Inhale, lifting your heels. Tummy lifts, shoulders draw forwards, hips lower, press into the ground, draw the shoulders back, breathe. And exhale, roll yourself back. Well done. Okay, sending your left foot towards your right. Send that right leg up to the sky, flexing the toes. And then take your right heel towards your hip. Elevate your left heel. Draw your right knee in towards the chest, shoulders drawing over the wrist. Step that foot through. Again, to the inner edge of the right thumb. Spin and ground your back heel at a 45-degree angle. And then swoop with a big, magnificent breath in. Swoop the arms up to the sky, feeling grounded through your feet. Lengthen through your body. Look up. Exhale, look forward. Right arm drawing in front of you, left arm behind. Imagine I'm pulling you from both sets of hands. So you're really extending and perhaps bending through that right knee a little further. Turn your right palm upwards and start to sink back. You can either place the left hand to the back leg or wrap it around the waist. One more big deep breath here. And then exhale back to your warrior two. Reach forward, take your two peace fingers into your right big toe or higher up the leg to the inside of the knee or the calf or the ankle. Take your gaze up to the left thumb. Send your left hand behind the back. Bend through your right knee. We're going to send the right shoulder low. We're going to send the right hand underneath the knee and see if we can take a hold of the left hand. We're going to do a slightly strange transition that's not going to be possible for absolutely everybody. Have a little go. Turn your right toes out to the side. Step your left foot to the top of your mat, keeping your bind. And then lift the right leg off the ground slowly, coming up to standing. If you've got that far, see if you can send your right leg long, pointing the toes. Bird of paradise pose. I'm not perfect at it. Who's perfect? Nobody in my eyes. Perfect is boring. But it's trying that matters, having a little go. Come back down and draw back into Malasana. Well done. Big deep breath. Open those knees. Exhale, bring your hands down to the earth. Take your right foot to the outer edge of your right hand with the toes facing forward. We're going to step the left foot back. So we're in a lizard pose. And then slowly draw your chest down towards the earth. And then guide your chest forwards. Inhale, rising up slowly. Send your weight backwards and straighten your right leg, tucking your right toes into the shin. So you get a hamstring stretch in the right leg. And again, bringing the right sole of the foot down to the ground, shoulders over the wrists. Lower your chest down as low as it will go. Notice where you feel that stretch. Guide yourself forwards, crown of the head leading. Press into the ground, roll back, tuck your right toes into the shin, lengthen that leg. Well done, good. Coming onto the sole of your right foot, can you bring yourself down, if possible, into a forearm plank? If that's not possible, just stay on the hands. And we're going to send the right leg back. So we arrive in a forearm plank. Or if you're in a full plank with the hands onto the ground, try coming down onto the forearms, shoulders stacked over the elbows. Okay, now tiptoe the feet towards your elbows. Dolphin pose. We're going to look down in between the ankles or down in between the thighs. You can choose to stay here, or you can lift the heels off the ground. Draw your head forward and see if you can touch the nose to the ground in front of your hands and back. And a couple more. Reactivating your shoulders and upper arms as you take this movement. Good, well done. Sinking down onto your knees, sinking your sit bones down to your heels, lengthen your arms. Place your forehead down to the earth. Close your eyes, soften your jaw, soften the backs of the eyes. Take a big, deep sigh out. And maybe just let go of any stress from the week. Just breathe it out. Know that you're here to build stronger bodies, more flexible bodies, but also to be okay with what you can't control, to be flexible with things that you need to let go of. And let's slowly draw into a rolling wave from here, drawing your chin to your chest. Lift your sit bones away from your heels, drawing through cat pose. Guide your hips forwards and down. Good. Inhale. See if it's possible to stay on the tops of the feet and lift your quads off the ground. Take the weight into the arms, the shoulders, so when you lift the hips up, you don't feel like you're squashing the tops of the toes. And then flip over those feet into a downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lift your heels off the ground, and exhale, lower them down. Maybe cross the ankles over for a moment and press the heels downwards. Take a big soft breath. And then step your feet back to hip width apart, sending your left leg up to the sky. Nice and high without opening the hips. Send your left heel to your sit bone. Elevate your right heel. Draw your left knee into the chest and step your foot to the inner edge of your left thumb. Spin and ground your back heel. Inhale, reach your arms up to warrior one. Exhale to a cactus shape. Inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale to a warrior two. Extending through the arms, bend through the front knee. Good. Turn your front palm upwards and sinking back gently to peaceful warrior, looking to the left thumb. And then exhaling back to warrior two. Good. Now reaching forward just through the upper body. Send your left hand down to the inner edge of the leg, or perhaps you find the big toe. Start to straighten up your left leg and look to the right thumb. Trikonasana pose. Gently send your right hip back. Stay here and breathe a big deep breath. Exhale, send your right hand to your left thigh, so behind the back, towards the left thigh if you can. Bend your left knee. Send your left shoulder low. Feed that hand underneath and see if you can bind those hands together. If you've got that far, focus to the top of your mat and send your left toes out and send your right toes, right foot to the outer edge of the mat. There we go. So slowly, here we go. We're going to start to, it helps, by the way, to have your bind sort of down lower underneath the knee rather than higher up over the thigh to be able to come up and straighten your back. Is the first step. And then the difficult, really difficult bit is straightening the left leg. Amazing, well done. Release the left leg. Coming down, and let's take a big step wide. Extend your arms out like a star. Have both sets of toes drawing forwards. Take a big deep breath, bring your hands to the hips, and then forward fold, hinging at your hips. So we're going to come all the way down and take the hands to your ankles, and then draw the crown of your head a little bit further down if you can. Take your weight slightly forward, heels almost lifting but not quite, and then slightly back. Bring your hands to the center of the feet. So we're going to start to walk the hands forward in a wide downward facing dog. Press the ground away, drawing your chest down towards the earth and your sit bones back so you really feel that stretch. And then when you're ready, walk your hands all the way back. Turn the hands around so fingertips are facing behind you. Walk those hands underneath the legs, palms to the ground, elbows bending, and aiming to get the crown of your head down to the earth, maybe to see up to the ceiling behind you. Now the hamstrings are nice and warm. Really nice. See if you can walk those hands a little bit further forward, behind you even, creeping them behind you and then bending the elbows. But of course, only if your hamstrings will allow. It helps to have a nice wide stance. Walking hands back, turn your left toes out. Bring both hands either side of your front foot and we're onto the ball of the back foot. Stepping back into a plank, optional press up before chaturanga, so a double chaturanga. Optional though. Inhale, rising up, lift the quads, roll back to downward facing dog. Send your left foot towards the right, swoop your right leg up to the sky, flexing your toes. Take your right heel to your hip, elevate your left heel. Drawing your right knee in towards the chest, step your foot through. Right foot to the inner edge of the right hand. Spin and ground don't spin and ground your back foot. Take your right hand into a fist. Draw that fist up towards your shoulder. Take your left hand into a fist. Rise yourself up to archer's pose, shoulders stacking. Good. Send your left fingers forward. Circle your left arm up and over the head. Spin and ground your back heel and glide your right arm forward with the palm facing up. Spin your arms, straightening your right leg, toes lift, right toes lift. Cross the hands in front of your heart, sending your left hand behind you, right hand over your right leg. Send your right hand in towards the hip with a circular movement through the wrist. Send the right arm forward with your palm facing up. Draw onto the foot and carefully lift that left leg up and away to flying warrior. Lengthen through the arms. Keep your gaze fixed on a point. Send the right hand carefully down towards the earth. Maybe you find the earth with the hand, or maybe you float, and left arm up to the sky. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Take another breath. And then we're going to guide the left knee into the chest. Interlace your fingers over the knee and give it a little squeeze. Either taking your right hand to the back of the knee or to the foot. Send your left leg forwards and open your left arm carefully behind you. Again, really focusing to balance, lifting the left leg. Well done. And then when it's time to bring that left leg down, give the ankles a little bit of a shake. All right, we're going to do similar thing with the right side. Draw your right knee into the chest. Remember, you don't have to take a hold of the foot. You could be taking a hold of the back knee and extending and just holding. You could have a strap around the foot if you have a strap. Or we could take the two peace fingers into the right big toe, left hand onto the hip and extend. Good. Open the leg out to the right side. Quite difficult looking at a screen to do this. Take the gaze down helps. Extend the left arm open. Lift the leg. Send your right leg forwards again. And we're going to take it into tree, right side, sending your right heel into your left thigh. Bringing your hands to your heart until you notice that some days balance is just there and some days it's all over the shop. That's just normality. Okay, she says, having a wobble. Bring the hands to your heart, send your arms up to the sky, big deep breath in. Exhale, send your arms either side of the body and down. Beautiful. Ujjayi breath, inhale, hands to the heart. Exhale, hands drawing down. Inhale, swoop the arms up to the sky, bringing palms together. Exhale, draw hands down to the heart. Send your right foot to meet the left. Bend your knees and meet me in Utkatasana, reaching up. Send your arms forwards to iron footstool pose and lift your heels. Send your sit bones down towards the earth. And if you can, bring your heels down to the ground. It's not going to be possible for some, but if you can, bring them down. Now you can either come all the way down to the ground and extend your right leg out, or if you want to challenge yourself, lift the right leg into the hands to a pistol squat. Or you've come all the way down onto your sit bones. And let's all go down there anyway. Take the left sole of your foot into your right thigh. Draw your arms up to the sky. Take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale, reaching forward. Can you reach for the sole of your right foot or the hands to the earth or a strap? Look over your toes. Big deep breath in. And exhale, fold tummy and chest down to the leg. Close your eyes for a moment. Lose any sense of how far you're getting into a pose, what it looks like. Zone into how it feels. You're increasing the water content to the muscle that you're stretching. You're oxygenating your blood as you breathe deeply. You're balancing your systems, helping your digestive system, your circulatory system, and your nervous system as you take a long exhale. Okay, slowly begin to rise up and send your right heel in towards your left ankle. Send your right foot over the left knee. If that doesn't work for you, extend your left leg and then take your right foot over the top of the thigh. Squeeze the right knee into the chest. Send your right arm up to the sky. Nice big deep breath. Send your left hand onto the elbow and walk your hand down the back. Reach back with the left hand and see if it's possible to bind. If not, keep the left hand onto the right elbow. Lengthen through the back, looking forwards if you can. And then exhale into a twist. Release your bind, send your right hand behind you, left arm reaching up. Taking your left elbow over the edge of the knee and then turning through the upper spine to the right side, looking over to the right shoulder. And if you want to, send the right hand down to the right foot, or perhaps underneath the knee, right hand sending back to bind. Take a big full breath. Exhale and release the bind. Coming into a full seated forward fold, send both legs long. Before we go into that seated forward fold, tuck the toes into your shins and bring your hands down by your hips. So if you're going to lift the heels off the ground, lengthen up through your back, and you're going to feel your calves activate as you lift the heels off the ground. And drawing your chin down to your chest, this is Dandasana pose. Draw up, zip up through your belly, and keep those shoulders rolling back. From Dandasana, draw the heels down, swoop your arms up to the sky, big deep breath, reach up. Exhale, reaching forward for the feet, for the toes, for the ankles, and folding down. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Breathe out, fold. And then taking your left hand to your right foot or back of the ankle, lift the leg and reach behind you with the right hand. And then swapping sides, bring the right leg down, take the right hand to the left foot or back of the ankle, reach and lengthen through your spine, breathing fully. Good, exhale, bring the foot down. Okay, finally moving into the hips, draw the soles of your feet in towards you. Take your thumbs to the center of the feet. Open those soles of the feet up to the sky as much as you can, bringing the feet in towards you. And then drop your chin down to your chest. As if you're reading a book, your feet are a book, and you're reading a little book, an interesting book. Noticing how those hips are feeling. You can also use your elbows into the knees, into the thighs, sorry, and draw your tummy and chest forward, folding over the feet a little bit. Taking one last big full breath here. Can you make it an Ujjayi breath again, hushing the body with your breath? Creating this feeling through our yoga practice of this glow, this inner glow that comes all the way out and radiates out. Okay, coming up, cross your ankles, bring your hands in front, and we're going to make our way back into a plank. I'm going to ask you to place your left knee onto the ground, have your left hand directly under the left shoulder, and bring your right arm up to the sky. Supported side plank. Bring your right hand to the back of your head, and then carefully draw your right elbow down towards the earth and back up. Good. And again, down towards the earth, and you keep the hips exactly where they are, feeling the muscle fibers really crunch. And again. And if you want to go a little further, come into a full side plank, left foot grounded, checking your alignment, and then take another 4 or 5 of these crunches, ensuring left wrist feels nice and strong if you're taking the full side plank. Good. And then just simply drawing over onto the other side, optional press up in between. And then place your right knee onto the earth, left arm up to the sky, left hand behind the head, and crunch, left elbow down towards the earth. 4, making sure the right hand is directly under the right shoulder. 3, hips are staying where they are. 2 and 1, and either continuing here or coming into a full side plank, left foot stacked over the right or just in front. For 5, left elbow down towards the earth and up. 4, breathing fully. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring your left hand down to the earth. Lower yourself down into Chaturanga. Inhale, rising up to Cobra. Lift the quads, roll back into your downward facing dog. Drawing your heels down towards the earth. Send your right foot towards your left. We're going to take the left leg up to the sky. Big deep breath. Take your left heel to the hip. Elevate your right heel. Send your left knee into the chest. Step your foot through in between the hands. Draw your left hand into a fist, bring that fist up to your shoulder, right hand forms a fist, rising up, stacking shoulders over the hips, not leaning forward. Send your right fingers forward, circle the arm, right arm drawing up and over. Spin and ground the back heel as if you're moving through honey, nice and slowly, left arm extending. Take your left arm up and over, straightening your left leg, sinking into your back knee, crossing through to double block. A diagonal line through the arms. Send your left hand in towards the hip. We're going to take off into flying warrior, left arm extending, right leg lifting. And then carefully send your left hand down towards the earth to a float if you can, otherwise hold onto the ground. Take a breath. Imagine you're pushing your body against a wall here in Ardha Chandrasana. Right leg perhaps lifting a little higher. Well done. And then send your right knee into the chest. Give it a little squeeze. Take a hold of your right foot with your left hand or the back of the leg, the back of the knee, the back of the ankle, wherever you can reach to. As you extend the leg, reach your right arm out behind you. Maybe look to the right thumb. Good. Slowly bring that right leg down. Take your left knee into the chest and give it a little squeeze. As high up as you can, squeeze it into the chest. Take your two-piece fingers to the big toe or behind the knee. Right hand finds the hip. The joy of being at home is you can hold on to something if you need to. Extend your left leg and then draw it out to the side, to the left side. Right arm's going to reach out too. And then send the left leg back to center. And slowly bring the foot down. Well done. Good. Inhale to Utkatasana. Exhale to Iron Footstool. Arms parallel to the shoulders, lifting your heels. Here we go. We're going to lower down. Good. So if you can, send your left foot into the hands, perhaps just one hand. One little breath and then sink down. Anyone that wants an extra challenge can try standing up from pistol squat. Pretty impossible in my eyes, but some people can. Extend both legs forward. Let's take another seated forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Big full breath. Exhale, reach forward. Take a hold of the toes or the ankles wherever you can and fold. And then slowly roll yourself all the way back up. Now we're starting to roll towards the end of the class. We're going to work on core, hips, and then just going upside down. Bring your feet in towards you. Feet parallel. Take a hold of the backs of your knees and sit up tall. Sink back and bring your feet off the ground, parallel to your knees, baby boat. Send your arms either side of those legs and making sure your back feels okay. You can either stay here or you can lower down, extending the legs and lowering the shoulders, but just off the earth. And then rising back up, drawing knees into your chest. And again, if that felt okay, come back down again. If you want something more, draw the arms behind you and then forwards and rise up. Feel free to hug your knees. And again, lower down. Arms perhaps drawn behind and forwards and rising up. And again, lower. Arms behind, arms forward, rise up. Now, if you can, take a hold of the toes with your two-piece fingers. Make sure your back feels okay. Lengthen the legs, draw them into the chest, and then release. Lower your lower back down to the earth. Lower your legs just a little, and we're going to hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then rise up. Well done. Crossing the ankles without using the hands if you can. Rise all the way up to mountain pose. Roll your shoulders down your back. Swoop your arms up. Take a big deep breath. Lift your heels off the ground for a moment. Slowly lowering the heels down, swan dive down. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale to float back or take 2 steps. Chaturanga or double chaturanga if you like. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, roll back to downward facing dog. Stepping your left foot towards your right. We're going to take the right leg up to the sky. Stack the right hip over the left. You can either stay here or you can transition with me to Wild Thing, sending your right foot all the way down to the left side. Right hand's going to start to lift off the ground, and then scan with the right arm and lift the hips, dropping back. Good. Your left leg should be long, right knee bent. Lower your left hip. Right hand's going to find the ground. We're going to take that right knee and leg nice and high and step your right knee to the outer edge of, right knee to the wrist into pigeon pose. Sending your left leg back. Walk your hands back and sit up as tall as you can. Make sure your hips are square. Prop the hips if you need, propping a blanket or a cushion underneath the right hip. And then slowly taking 3 spinal undulations. Exhale, lowering the chest down. Inhale, rising up. And again, exhale, lowering down. A big soft exhale. Inhale, rising all the way back up. And then exhale, coming all the way down this time. Rest your head in your arms or rest your head on the ground with your arms extended. Close your eyes, soften the backs of your eyes, soften your jaw, take a big sigh out. And perhaps walk your upper body over to the right side and stretch. And then walking your upper body over to the left side and stretch. And then walking your hands back to the top of your mat. We're going to creep them back up. Bring both hands either side of your right knee. Sink onto the right hip and swoop your left leg around to the front. Taking the right sole of your foot into the thigh. Take your left heel into the right ankle. And then step that left foot over the right thigh. Or again, you could have the right leg extended. Now squeeze the left knee into the body. Send your left arm up to the sky. Big deep breath in. Take hold of the elbow, walk your hand down your back, and maybe take a bind if that works. Take your gaze forward if you can. Big deep breath. That's it, left side. Good, now taking your left hand behind, that's it, left side, left arm up, right arm behind, binding left foot is over the right thigh. Send your left hand behind you, right arm reaches up. Take the right elbow to the outer edge of the knee. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, looking over your left shoulder. And perhaps send your right hand to the left foot. Or perhaps send your right hand underneath the knee and your left hand behind to bind. These are all just fancy add-ons. The main thing is that you are getting a little squeeze of the body like a wet towel from within and breathing deeply. Well done. One last breath here. Now, is it possible to transition back to pigeon pose? So we're going to swoop the left leg behind, hands ground, left toes tuck under, right knee is going to rechamber into the chest, and we're going to send that right leg back. We can either draw straight into downward facing dog if we're growing tired, or chaturanga. Rolling back, all meeting in down dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Stack your hip. If you're joining me in Wild Thing, lift the left palm off the ground. Send your left foot down to the other side. Swoop over your knee and ankle and lifting up, dropping through the upper back. Right leg long, left knee bent. Take a big breath. Exhale, lower your right hip. Send your left hand down to the ground, transitioning to pigeon left side. Left knee finding the left wrist. Glide your right leg back. Walk the hands back. Take a big full inhale. Well done. Exhale, 3 spinal undulations. You are nearly there. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, easing down. Inhale, rising all the way back up. And then exhale, bring yourself down. Just be with your body, with your practice in the moment. Have a go at doing what we did at the start of the class, taking a big full inhale through your nose and then pausing at the top of your breath, retaining that breath, and notice the stillness. And when you need to, I don't want you to get uncomfortable, when you need to, release that breath softly. Maybe even take a little pause at the end of the exhale. And just noticing these pauses in between the inhale and in between the exhale. And if anything, having a regular yoga practice can really bring awareness into so many little details in life that might get missed. And mindfulness into your everyday life, bringing a gratitude to every single moment is a beautiful thing. Let's slowly bring ourselves up. Sink onto the left sit bone. Glide your right leg around to the front. Bring both soles of the feet together, making a diamond shape with the legs. Take a hold of the edges of the feet and fold down. Head drawing down towards the feet, or maybe you go one step further, taking the arms underneath the knees and the chest down towards the earth. Take a big deep breath. Notice how you feel drawing towards the very end of your practice. You're going to guide yourself slowly down onto your back. So if your hands are underneath the knees, just gently bring them out. Bring your feet down to the ground. Come down onto your back. Place your feet underneath your knees. Place your palms down onto the ground. Press the lower spine into the ground and then guide your hips up, lifting the back vertebrae by vertebrae up into bridge pose. And perhaps staying here, perhaps propping the hips, or maybe taking your hands underneath the back, interlacing the fingers. If you're joining me for a full wheel, bring your back down. Take your arms up. Flip your hands, taking the palms down to the ground by your ears. Feet in a comfortable position, pressing up. And then pushing through the legs. Aiming to straighten the legs as much as possible. If you're practiced at this, perhaps try to bring the feet towards each other. Take a few more breaths wherever you are at, whether you're in bridge or full wheel. And then gently bring yourself down from wheel, tucking your chin in, lowering down. If you're in a full wheel, you might feel like you've got butterflies going on through your body. This kind of intense feeling. We're going to go upside down. If you need to take a little supine twist first, knees over to one side and then the other, both shoulders onto the ground. And then when you're ready, feet up to the sky, palms onto the ground, and lifting up if it's comfortable, and feet drawing down behind. Keep that chin away from your chest. Take your feet up to the sky with your hands onto the lower back, pointing those toes up to the sky, or if you would prefer a different inversion, go ahead. We're holding here together collectively for 5, Big deep breaths. 4. Elbows drawing towards each other in shoulder stand, shoulders shuffling in. 3. Good. Allowing blood to flow down, allowing your heart to be upside down. We know the blood's getting pumped around anyway, but it adds something to it being upside down. It's really good for your circulation, good for stress relief too. 2 and 1. Hinge at your hips if you can, sending the feet down behind you. Bring your palms down onto the ground and bring that back down vertebrae by vertebrae. And I promise we won't go over time. We're going to be in Shavasana for 3 minutes. Bring your ankles to roll open and your palms up to the sky. Or if you feel safer laying on your tummy or on your side, that's also an option. The Shavasana traditional pose is a real pose of surrender. Fully relax your body and just notice what is. Allow your practice to be absorbed in your body. And just scanning through your body, making sure you're not holding any tension in your jaws, behind your eyes. Your shoulders, relax. Imagine you're sinking into gorgeous warm water that's relaxing and healing you. Let go, surrender, soften. And imagining you are laying in a giant pair of hands, of nourishing hands that are there to care for you. You can let go of all responsibilities, all lists of things to do. Just let go and know that you are being nourished and held. Relax your body for a few more moments. And maybe allow yourself to have the feeling of floating on water. If you're able to use your imagination, hearing the gentle lap of the waves around your body. Feeling super calm. And take a slow, big, deep breath, a nourishing breath in. Imagine you're breathing in light and filling up your whole body with light. Send that down to the fingers and the toes, stretch them out. Send your arms and feet together, arms behind the head. Begin to take a big wake up stretch. Draw your knees into your chest. Take the knees, take a little rock from side to side. You want to take the soles of your feet up to the sky with your knees wide, happy baby pose, taking hold of the edges of the feet. And then slowly make your way up to seated, either rolling onto your sides or crossing ankles and coming up to finish. Thank you so much for joining class today and for staying all the way through 75 minutes. It's not always easy online, so you've done really well. Bring your hands onto the knees, drop your chin down to your chest, allow the head to be really heavy. Take a roll of the head, right ear drawing over towards the right shoulder. Take another roll of the head, chin to the chest, left ear over to the left shoulder, ironing out any kinks. And then stack your head over your heart. Take a big energizing breath in. Sweep the arms up. Catch a star, catch a wish, bring it into your hearts. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining, sending gratitude to you and your bodies for all your hard work today. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely Mother's Day for you mums out there. I am running classes tomorrow as ever. I run them 7 days a week. So of course I'm here tomorrow. If you want a class, it's on. Otherwise, happy Mother's Day. Have a brilliant weekend.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks. Great to see you, Shifra.
See you. Bye.
Thanks. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
See you soon. Bye-bye.